Hey guys, guess who's drunk again? Nah, I'm not drunk. But I do want to talk about Netflix's The Punisher. Got a whole Marvel thing going on. I promise this isn't a Marvel channel. I just want to do a quick video on how amazing The Punisher was. Holy crap, this was a good show. First off, the story. Man, I wasn't sure from Daredevil season 2 like where they could go with it, but it turns out that it was much larger than just the mob members and that one guy that he killed and that one old lieutenant or soldier or whatever that he worked with. It was way bigger than it was, and that was pretty dope. The action in the show is crazy. Like, I kind of get bored at gun violence because, I mean, how many different ways can you shoot a gun and make it look cool? But I think it's more a testament to Punisher himself, the actor whose name is escaping me right now. The viciousness and the like, just the pain and hurt and just everything he brought to the role made the action good, specifically pertaining to him. There were a few scenes with some other firefights and things like that he wasn't a part of that were also entertaining, but they weren't entertaining because they were shootouts. They were entertaining because of the drama that was going on just underneath the firefight. The acting, all the actors brought it. I don't care what anybody else says on any other reviewing channel, all the acting was dope. The main Homeland agent, Dahani, don't know the actress's name, she was good, just good. Everything she said, I believe she was hurt about her friend who passed away at the hands of all these shady government dealings. Her annoying as hell friend, I guess that's the only person who, I don't know if it was the acting or it was the writing, but the friend was just annoying. And I think he was supposed to be her moral compass. Like, she always wanted to do everything on her own. She always wanted to go after the bad guy by herself, get things done herself. She didn't trust anybody else to help her get it done. But he was the one who would always be like, hey, you can't do it this way, you gotta do it this way. Okay, I understand you're doing it this way, let's try and do it the other way. Things of that nature. I understand his purpose, but damn, everybody else was good. Her mom was good. The other Homeland dude who was above her, I guess, who got her the job or some craziness, I don't know. He was, I don't know if we were supposed to trust him or not. I never trusted him. I always thought he was gonna turn on her at some point. Cause he's like a weird, like, if he wasn't gonna turn on her, what was the purpose of him? You know what I mean? Like, I guess somebody just higher up in her corner, cause it would kind of be a bleak show, I guess, if she was just constantly trying to get the truth, and there was no one above her that would help her get that done. So, I guess I'm kind of answering my own question, but even so, I still didn't trust him. I still don't trust him, and the show's already done. Still don't trust him. Who else do we have? Oh, one of my favorite things in the show is Micro. Micro is the guy who is essentially in the same exact predicament as Punisher. He knows something and these people are trying to take him out, but the only difference is that he allowed himself to get quote unquote killed so he could fake his death to protect his family. Punisher, Frank, he's not arrogant, but I guess he didn't see a threat or didn't anticipate the threat. He went straight back to his family, and because of that, his family got caught in the crossfire. Now, Micro, not necessarily learning from Frank, but just by happenstance, he had the same exact situation but handled it differently. So he faked his death to protect his family. So Frank is a man without a family, and then Micro's family is a family without their Frank, so to speak. And that was pretty dope. So it gave something for Frank to fight for other than himself. Because before he's fighting for dead people, he's fighting for a memory. He's fighting for his pain or whatever. But with Micro, and it took a while to get to that point for Frank. It took for Frank, he was fighting to get Micro back to his family because Frank himself couldn't get back to his. And the way they just kept building each other up and just their friendship and their teamwork and camaraderie, that was the whole, like, that's like the spine of the show. Like, that's the thing that kept it up for me. If anything was gonna bring it down, that relationship kept it up. I really like that part of the show. There's also a good little subplot where a veteran can't handle being home. And forgive me if I'm oversimplifying this, but yeah, he can't handle being home. And through a series of events, he winds up becoming like a terrorist. But he winds up becoming, I don't know how to put this. He thinks there's a problem. He thinks there's a problem going on in his country because of the way veterans are being treated, and then something to do with guns, and they're gonna take away our guns. Whatever. And he feels like he has to go fight for that. But you can tell it's not about that, because there's no really legs to stand on, especially when they reveal how those ideas got planted in his mind. And there's nothing crazy if I'm making it sound like, he was brainwashed or something. But, he was in a support group. The character's name is Lewis. He was in a support group, and there's a guy in the support group who's just spouting off all these, platitudes about the country's changed and we're at war with ourselves, and we gotta fight for it, and fight for this and fight for that, and keep our guns and keep our freedoms, and try to take away our freedoms, da 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 da. And he gets into Lewis's head, a young man who came back from the war not completely healthy, and it just got to him, and he just started doing extreme things. The whole point of that, in my mind, because that's a totally separate plot happening separate from The Punisher, and when the two things finally converge, in my mind, I think it's a parallel or a justification to Frank, to that he's not, where am I going with this? Okay, Lewis's actions are justification of Frank, in the sense that Lewis thinks he's the same as the Punisher, when obviously they're clearly not. The Punisher has a set goal, like he's trying to avenge his family and take down people. Like he's a good guy who does extreme things. Like he's trying to get rid of crime. He's trying, like he said in Daredevil season 2, you put them down, they get back up. I put them down, they stay down. That's it. He compares himself to Daredevil. He thinks he's doing the exact same thing as Daredevil, but more permanent. Now, when it comes to Lewis doesn't know what he's doing. He feels like he's fighting for something, but he doesn't even know what he's fighting for. He just doesn't. But when the two of them meet, Frank sees himself in Lewis. So through a series of events, when Lewis essentially is about to kill himself, Frank is like, yeah, do it. And there's no visual metaphor in the show to support what I'm thinking, but Frank is talking to himself when he's talking to Lewis, because Frank doesn't want to live anymore, and he says that several times. He goes, I wake up wishing for it, but the man is just too damn nice to die. You can't kill Frank. Anyway. Yeah, so the whole Lewis subplot I enjoyed. I like how, and it was a slow burn. It happened quietly in the background. You came back to him every now and then, and then you realize, boom. Then you realize, boom, they're about to meet. This thing's about to go down. So that was really interesting. I like that. Overall, man, it was a really, really good show. Oh, I gotta talk about the ending scene. The ending fight was just the most vicious thing I've ever seen outside of a horror film. And what made it more satisfying was because they built up all this emotion over 2 seasons of shows, 2 seasons of 2 separate shows. They built up all this emotion and tension, and Frank finally has the last person involved with all the heartache and misery he's been put through, and he just goes in on this man. Oh my god, the whole 13 episode thing is worth it just to see that last part. It was insane. I don't recommend you watch it if you're squeamish. Fuck that. I do recommend you watch it if you're squeamish, because it is crazy. It is crazy. I don't care if I'm hyping it up or whatever. Man, that crap was insane. Oh my god. But yeah, Punisher. Hope they get a season 2, because it was dope. The whole thing was crazy. It was good. Story good. Acting good. Action and violence, the choreography, and just there's a meaning behind all the violence. Any other movie is just guns just because, oh, they look cool. But there's a lot of weight going on behind everything he does. Frank is an angry man, and the show does this beautiful thing at the end where this whole time he's had a friend who's ran a group of veterans that just, a support group for veterans. His friend ran it, and the whole time Frank would come and just talk to his friend, but he wouldn't stay for the whole session. At the end of the end of the season, he goes and sits down for the session for once. And that's the difference between him and Lewis. He after he got everything finished, he went and got help. And that's not necessarily justification of his actions, but you can see he wants to be something better, or at the very least, like, get better. But all in all, though, the man's still a superhero. It's a Marvel TV show. He's a superhero in a sense. So, you know, he's still got to bust some caps in season 2. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is just me thinking too deep. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, and subscribe.